Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Some of the decisions, some of the policies that this government and some government organization takes is almost shocking. The Reserve Bank of India has said that it will allow willful defaulters, it will allow accounts involved in frauds for a compromise settlement. Accounts involved in fraud and willful defaulters for a compromise settlement. I mean, what kind of policy is this? Chalo, let's discuss this threadbare. Let's get right into the show. Okay, so what is the RBI saying? The RBI, in simple words, is saying that, Baba, listen, it is like this. Okay, you are a willful defaulter. Okay, you are a fraud. You defrauded the bank. Okay, ठीक है, no problem. Come, please sit and let us settle. Let us settle and come to a compromise, and you give me a settled amount and we will negotiate and we will make it everything go away. So you be happy, I be happy. This is what the RBI is suggesting in simple language. Now, as always, let us understand every aspect of it in depth. ठीक है ना? Like I always say, information is empowerment. Let us understand each and every aspect of this in simple language. Let us start with the concept of willful defaulter. Now, who is a willful defaulter? As per Reserve Bank of India's classification, a willful defaulter would be deemed to have occurred if the borrower has defaulted in meeting their repayment obligations to the lender even when they have the capacity to honor the said obligation. What does it mean? It means that willful defaulter means मेरे पास पैसा है पर मैं नहीं देगा बैंक को. I have taken loan from the bank. I am supposed to pay EMI. I am supposed to return back the loan. I have the wherewithal to return back the loan, but I will not return to the bank. I will say नहीं छोड़. That is in simple language what willful defaulter is. Now, let us understand what do you mean by compromise settlement. Compromise settlement refers to a negotiated settlement where a borrower offers to pay and the bank agrees to accept in full and final settlement of its dues an amount less than the total amount due to them under the relative loan contract. The settlement invariably involves a certain sacrifice by the way of write-off and or waiver of the portion of its dues on a one-time basis. Again, what is this? It means I own the bank 100 rupees. I can't pay 100 rupees. I will go to the bank and I will say, Baba bank, I will pay you 30 rupees. Leta hai kya? Lene ka le, nahi to let it be. The bank will say 30 nahi re Baba, 40 rupees you pay. I will say I will not pay more than 30 rupees. End of the day, I will agree to an amount of 32 rupees. The bank will agree to an amount of 32 rupees. For the 100 rupees loan that I have taken, I pay 32 rupees back and the bank says, okay, all done, everything closed. It is a one-time settlement. This is exactly what compromise settlement is. So I have told you what willful defaulter is. I have told you what compromise settlement is. Okay, now let us get into some figures, facts and figures. Maza aayega, because that is what always, the proof of what we are talking about. Facts and figures. Okay, now there are 15,778 willful default accounts involving an amount of rupees 3,40,570 crores as on December 2022. As against 14,206 accounts involving 2,85,583 crores a year ago in December 2021 and 12,911 accounts of rupees 2,45,888 crores in December 2020. So from December 2020 to December 2021 to December 2022, it has been steadily rising. The default amount has been steadily rising. So it has been going up. So we are very good. We are growing as far as defaulting our bank is concerned, Baba. We are growing as far as defrauding our bank is concerned. We are very good at it. We are growing. And seeing this growth, I don't know looks as if it is to promote the growth, the RBI says that, listen, you know what, theek hai yaar, if you defraud, you come and you settle the amount with us. You settle the amount with us. I will take you through another figure, which is also important. Now, this figure talks about what is the kind of settlement that we are talking about. The overall recovery rate in insolvency case till quarter 3, financial year 23 is 30.4%. Which means that there was a haircut of approximately 70%. Haircut matlab, this is what the compromised amount is. This is what the bank compromises and the bank writes off. That is what you call haircut. So in financial year 2023, the haircut was almost 70%. The payment received was 30%. Now the worst thing is, this is cumulative. It is on the downward trend. This year we are talking about 30%. Earlier on, it was better. It was 43% in quarter 1 financial year 2020. It was 32.9% in quarter 4 financial year 2022. So basically, it's on the downtrend. You are paying lesser and lesser. The compromise amount is becoming bigger and bigger. The write-off amount is becoming bigger and bigger. The haircut is becoming bigger and bigger. Now, this is what is happening. This is what is happening in our country. Now, you see, this money that is being haircut, this money that is being defrauded from the bank, this money that these people who are willful defaulters, you know whose money they are taking? They are taking away your money. They are taking away the money which would have possibly been used for your child's education. They are taking away money which possibly would have been used for your health. They are taking away money which possibly otherwise would have been used for security, your security. That's the money they are taking away. And these people who are willful defaulters, these people who defraud the bank, they are huge. Their net worth is huge. Huge net worth. Hundreds and thousands of crores. The people who have haircuts, their net worth is huge. Now, the reason I say that, and I'm saying it so emphatically, is because when I know of a lady who had written to us that she couldn't pay an EMI, and that was during just after COVID. She couldn't pay one EMI, one or two EMIs of her vehicle, a small vehicle she has that she drives to her office. This lady had called us up and said that, goons caught her in Marine Drive in Mumbai. The goons employed by these banks, they caught her in Marine Drive in Mumbai and asked her to get out of the car. Imagine a lady humiliated on the road, on the streets by these bank goons. This happens. And because that lady is a common person, common man like you and me. We are middle class people, we run this country, but we are middle class people, nobody bothers. That lady was called out and that lady was humiliated on the streets. There was no haircut for the lady. Have you ask around? If you are a common man like me, ask around any of your friends whether they ever had anything called as a haircut or ever had any compromise, whatever that is called, a compromised settlement. Ask them. A common man, individual like us, a middle class citizen of this country never gets all this. This is for super rich. This is for super rich, people who are tremendously influential, huge influence with the government, huge influence with politicians. They are the people who get it. They are the people who get it. Huge companies, Videocon got it. Huge companies get it. You take huge amount of haircuts. And finally, who loses? We lose. PMC bank lost. Those depositors lost. Like I told you, these banks loses, this bank loses, matlab the country loses, our economy loses, matlab we lose. Everything about us, we lose. Our health, like I told you, our growth, everything. Now, let me tell you one more thing. And I am wondering why RBI, Reserve Bank of India, and people who are supposed to head this Reserve Bank of India, who decides the fiscal policy of our country, the monetary policy of our country, I am surprised how they can take a step like this. You are saying that for willful defaulters and for defrauders, you are willing to sit down and compromise and settle. Which means you are technically rewarding them because they are willful defaulters, correct? Correct, because you are saying, ठीक है, चलो नहीं होता ना, तुम दे दो यार, निकाल देते. What about for people who are paying their EMIs on time? Every time they are tightening their belts. Common people like us, common people like you and me, Common people, middle class people who tighten our belts and pay our EMI on time. What about us? How are we rewarded? Has the government says, ठीक है, एक काम करो भैया, you guys paid not 3 months, last 3 months EMI, go. No, don't pay. We are taking it off your loan. The government will take care of it. Have they said this? Have they said this? People have been thrown out of their house. People have been, their houses have been vacated. Why? Because it was mortgaged. Did they say, ठीक है यार, रहने को घर नहीं है, रहने दो यार. The government will take care of it. The RBI will take care of it. What is RBI's? Who are these policies meant for? Are our fiscal policies, are our financial policies, are our economic policies, is it all of this? Are it meant for just few people? Few super rich people? The super rich of this country? Is this entire economy working for the super rich of this country? Because these policies are only for super rich. These haircuts are only for super rich. These benefits are only for super rich. Common man tak to pahunchta bhi nahi hai ye. That's the point I wanted to make. In fact, in one of my earlier editorial called Haircut, I have actually given the list. Please do that. I'll try and attach that editorial with this one. I have given actual companies which have received haircuts and the amount of haircuts they have received. Please go through that. I don't want to repeat in this particular editorial. You can view that. But this is what's really happening. And now this particular policy, I am appalled. I'm surprised. Least to say, I'm surprised. You see, this government came into existence in India by calling the UPA government crony capital, by calling the UPA government corrupt, by calling the UPA government that tum businessman ko support karta hai. To a certain extent, they were right also. It is not that they were wrong. But what I see now is this government seems to be far more blatantly and openly promoting crony capitalism. Because had this helped a larger section of the society, I could have understood. Had this helped the middle class, I could have understood. I would have stood by it. This will help that 2%, 1%, 3% of people who are super rich. That's the audience. Maximum of it. That's the audience that is going to help. Maximum of it. And that's what appalls me. Till I see you next time, that is on Monday at 10 p.m. Namaskar.